All right, we're doing a Q&A today, a bunch of questions pulled from YouTube, and I'm going to answer them to the best of my ability. I can't promise I won't skip questions, but that's what this is. It's a Q&A. Has Origin ever thought about buying or acquiring a sole company for shoes and boots? No, we haven't thought about acquiring a sole company, but we have thought about making soles because it's probably the weakest part of our supply chain right now. Like the military, they always have first dibs, and there's only a couple of sole companies that can make soles. So we have thought about making them ourselves. We're not at the point yet where we are going to. As far as like other companies that make footwear, we have purchased whole assets of whole companies. One of those was in Batavia, New York. It was the PE Minor boot factory. We also looked at another factory in Pennsylvania we almost bought, Cowboy Boot Factory. A lot of these boomers like retiring or stepping out, and honestly, like we've purchased all of these from boomers. The one in New York was passed down to his granddaughter, but looking to move on. And who else is there but Origin to buy their legacy? Curious how much drive time you take on during the week and how you structure that time. Take meetings, calls, take verbal notes, think, plan. Listen, no time is truly sacred. I talk on the phone in the shower, on the shitter, at dinner. No time is sacred. 99% of the time, okay? 1% of the time, I won't answer the phone. There's certain people I always answer the phone. Very few, but no time is sacred. I'm on. If I need to be on the phone, I will be. This morning, I was driving into town to get a coffee on the phone. I was on the shitter on the phone. And then in the shower, I was actually watching a class, something I'm trying to understand more. But I'm on the phone in the shower all the time too. So no time is sacred. It can't be, right? It just can't be. So, and I'm always taking verbal notes in my, I talk to text, in my notes app on my phone, which is a wonderful piece of technology. How do you feel about someone who applies for the same job over and over and won't take no for an answer? Folks need to go through the proper channels to apply for jobs. At this size of our company, we don't just hire anybody off the street. We have people who have showed up and like stalked us, stalked the company, stalked the people. They'll show up from random parts of the world. And I guess that's what you get sometimes when you're building something that touches somebody so deeply and they're not getting what they want in the life or where they are in life, physically, spiritually, emotionally. And so they leave that life. And we've had multiple, probably a handful, 4 or 5 people show up over the years, and they end up just like, we got to like call the cops and shit and be like, all right, this is random. We've also hired a lot of people that have gone through the proper channels and moved to Maine. A lot of folks have moved to Maine that have gone through the proper channels. So we will accept that if we have a job opening. And I'm going to pull over here in a minute to finish these. Major overseas allure for startups is contract manufacturing. Do you see contract footwear manufacturing return to U.S. via Origin or someone else? Tough question. Not at scale. I just don't. I don't see it happening at scale because I shouldn't say that. I would only see it happening at scale if it was necessity. I had done a different vlog a few days ago about needing necessity. Like when our ancestors came through Ellis Island, immigrated to America, it was necessity. They were leaving starvation, potato famines, agrarian societies, looking for a new life, and they believed in the American dream, and And it was necessity that we built factories and manufactured things. It's not necessity anymore. Okay, it's what's the word I'm looking for? It's too easy, and you can make too much money having somebody else make your shit in a foreign country behind steel bars with nets outside the windows, being forced to produce. It's too easy, and so there would have to be a massive moral shift. It would take divine intervention to shift 300 plus million Americans into thinking differently. And so I don't know. I hope and pray, but I don't know. We're going to do our part, and if we can affect even a small percentage of the U.S. population, of the global population, that's a pretty big deal, because you make major waves doing that. So at some capacity, yes, it'll come back. At a massive capacity, I don't see it yet. How do you structure the 90-day probationary period when bringing it up? Is it advised as a consistent routine for hiring or specific to C-suite? Do you put specific metrics or KPIs in the 90-day period? Yeah, the 90-day period isn't for everybody. We don't say everybody's going to get a 90-day probation. It's really for more managers, directors, and up C-suite. And if I say 90-day period, I gauge their emotional reaction. What is their nonverbal communication? What does their face say? What does their body say? What are their actually words? And if they're scared, then I know they're not as confident as they need to be to work for the organization. If they're like, yeah, okay, that's fine, they know they're going to win. And it's not that they're proving it to me, they're confident that they're going to deliver to the brand what the brand needs to eat. And that their skill set is strong enough to get there. So I've had people literally move across the country, resign from jobs, with their confidence in the 90 days was no factor. And so that's not for floor level employees, it's for managers and whatnot. KPIs are, when I 9-box them, vision and culture. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go back and watch the vision culture 9-box video. What I'm looking for is there upward trajectory? Are they going to move up and out on vision culture over those 90 days? And then I really know. All right. Knowing the market for discretionary goods is soft right now, okay? Especially for footwear and apparel, that's true. How do you set expectations for the results of this pop-up, and how do you spread the message to the team? Yeah, so discretionary spending. Listen, millions, tens of millions, billions of dollars get spent every day. We choose where we consume. We're consumers. Consumption is necessary to make the world go round. American consumption is the most important of consumption because we're the wealthiest country and the richest consumers. And so consumerism is important. Conscious consumerism, like conscious capitalism, is what I'm focused on. And so I know the market for discretionary goods can be soft. And so what do you do in place of it? Well, you stop selling products and you start selling story. That is more important to me than the almighty dollar. The dollar will come, it'll flow over time. It's necessary to grow and build and hire and expand and scale. But it's free to tell stories. It's free to communicate. Another beautiful thing about living here is free speech. And so we beat the drum of story, and we try to bring people into the brand, into our movement, mission, factory, behind the scenes. And inside of that ecosystem, even if a consumer doesn't have the discretionary income, they reprioritize, force rank where they want to put their dollars, and I hope they put it into origin, knowing 100 cents is going to stay on the American soil. And so that's important, but we got to provide best-in-class product also for that to happen. With a pop-up, if we do a pop-up in, say, Boston or elsewhere, how do we spread the message to the team? The team needs to own the idea as their own. I plant the seed, They got to water it, take care of it, put a fence up so critters don't get inside, and nurture that. Or they're going to stomp on it. And if they stomp on it, that's okay too. It happens. I call getting voted off the island. Listen, sometimes you get voted off the island, move on. But they know my long-term strategic vision is retail, and they know that we're going to need to test it at some point. Timing is everything. The timing might not be now, but it will happen. Apologies if you've already done a video on it, but do you have any supply chain call to action? Where are the bottlenecks? What are you short on? What businesses should be created to help? Maybe some people are unaware, and want to accept your challenge to action. Supply chain call to action. I answered this one on the YouTube channel. It would take me too long to answer it here. I wouldn't want to try to convince anybody to start something to support Origin. But if somebody has something that we need and can deliver something as a part of their core business that doesn't take them off track, we're all ears and very open to that as a brand. And there are bottlenecks all over the place, and there are single points of failure all over the place. There's one manufacturer in America that can dye indigo dyed yarn, denim. Again, watch that video where I just did a tour of our manufacturer, Mount Vernon, who makes our denim. To rebuild that, you're talking tens of millions of dollars. Now, who is going to take the risk on that, building another denim plant in America right now? Probably nobody. So some of our supply chain issues, single points of failure, are almost insurmountable right now until Origin is $1 billion brand and we can own our own supply chain all the way back to the farm. I would love to be standing in the middle of a 1,000-acre field right now that we owned and be able to tell you all of our cotton came from this one field. Here's the farmer, the family, the community we're supporting. And we're very close to that. And in the future, here's our 100,000-acre farm. Or here are the farms we own. Or here are the farms we've partnered with. And we own our supply chain, control the supply chain. And that supply chain is spread at such a footprint that if you have to retract, you're not retracting huge tracts of land, huge factories. And so my plan is to build micro solutions to blanket the U.S. With smaller factories, 50 people, 100 people, 200 people, smaller farms. And so if you have a bad year, because you're going to have an off year, it's not hugely affecting any one community, and that allows you to also rebuild as you go back into scaling mode. So we're prepping for that also. All right, that was pretty good. I hope you enjoyed that. Maybe I'll try to do this once a week. You tell me, what if I took the top 10 or 15 questions every week and answered them here for you a little bit more in depth like I did now, because I'm not going to sit there and type on YouTube these long drawn out answers. And the dialogue this way is a lot easier. So if you liked this, comment below, please. And guess what? We'll just start this and use this video as the first one, Q&A. Ask the question you want to ask me. It can be about anything we've discussed. It can be about any video that has been launched. It can be about any topic, business, life, love, scaling, jiu-jitsu, food, and the pursuit of happiness, anything, and post it in this video, and I'll answer the questions from this video. And then when I do this next week, we'll do the same thing. I'll ask you to post your questions. I'll answer the questions in that video. Hope you're enjoying it. Listen, I'm back in Maine. Feels good to be back in the fall. It's cold. It's wonderful. I made a big mistake. I did not bring my Kilo Light hoodie, soon to be called the Core hoodie, rebranded, with me. The first time I've never brought a Core hoodie, a Kilo Light hoodie, with me on a trip. I brought it to every country I've ever traveled to, every state I've ever traveled to. I always throw it over my shoulder. It's my everyday carry. It's good in all environments. I even bring it in the middle of the summer. If I'm going to like overseas somewhere warm, I still bring it because temperatures are still going to drop and you're still going to want it. I didn't bring it with me on this trip to the South, to Mississippi and Louisiana last week, and I regretted it tremendously. I got home, and the first thing I did is I put it back on, and I now don't want to take it off because it's literally the most comfortable thing. I'm not even wearing a t-shirt underneath. It's just a freaking hoodie. It's right on the skin. It's like a base layer and an outer layer. It's the freaking best. This is the one that the woman stopped me one time and said, I've watched you and your products for years and years and years and never bought anything. I finally bought this, and it feels like a hug. It is wonderful. So anyways, little diatribe, side note there. It is fall. It's coming to you if you're in a warm environment. You need to get stocked up if you want to continue to build your closet of freedom. Boots and blue jeans, t-shirts and hoodies and jackets. We love the support. We're starting a loyalty program soon, which is also tremendous to hear about. And I'm going to get back at it. So appreciate you. Comment below what you want to hear about, and we'll have the dialogue, similar conversation next week. Peace.